Tonight on Primetime, an explosive special event. He wanted to be the American Idol.
Foolish heart, heed my warning.
He became the fallen idol. Hear his claims of a secret relationship with a powerhouse judge.
She coached you.
Right.
She picked your songs.
Yeah.
She picked your clothes.
Right.
From private phone calls to late night, all night visits.
She came up behind me and she just started kissing my neck.
You had sex with Paula Abdul.
Did she give him private coaching that helped him make it into the finals? Did she try to keep it a secret?
Hi, it's Paula. Call me back. Listen, if the press is trying to talk to you, you say absolutely nothing.
And what about the reactions of his fellow contestants? Hearing the claims tonight for the very first time.
Oh, wow.
A primetime investigation into the shocking claims of coaching a contestant on the hit show American Idol. Tonight, Fallen Idol. Here now, John Quinones.
Good evening and welcome to this primetime special event. Just minutes ago, you saw another American Idol wannabe. This time, Scott Sable got voted off the stage. It was the climax of a week filled with speculation about the explosive claims of another Idol wannabe, a former contestant, that he received private coaching from and had a personal relationship with Paula Abdul, the judge, while he was on the show. Paula Abdul has dismissed those claims and says he is a liar. Tonight, you'll hear exclusively from that contestant himself, and you can be the judge.
I think you got star quality.
Corey Clark, cruising to the finals of American Idol, Season 2, 2003.
That was beautiful. You just blew me away.
Celebrity judge Paula Abdul, an unabashed fan.
Excellent, excellent.
But is there more to this than meets the eye? Today, Clark's cutting an album, singing his confessions of love, sex, and deception.
I'm about to tell you how I'm feeling, man. This is the story of your boy and older woman, and the way she played with his mind, the lies she told to his face, and the tragic way she broke his heart.
Secret romance, broken hearts. It's what pop music is all about. Except this singer says his song is a true story. And if it is, it's much more than a song. It could become a scandal that rocks a pop culture phenomenon, American Idol.
Take a look at me now.
Corey Clark's story. It begins growing up in a musical family.
And drift away.
Dwayne and Jan Clark raised their son and his three sisters on nearly 3 decades of their own musical performances. As a teenager, Corey once sang at New York's Apollo Theater. Where does he get it from?
Right there. Because I'm a hard old Southern blues rocker myself.
It's a mixture. It's a nice mixture. Best of both worlds.
When I was just a baby.
And when American Idol comes to the Clarks' hometown of Nashville in October 2002, 22-year-old Corey is there at the Wild Horse Saloon, ready with a song and a dream.
My first goal, which was just to sing for Simon and hear what he had to say about me and see if people were lying about me, my family and friends, see if they had been feeding me a bunch of bull my whole life telling me I could sing and I couldn't.
Never can say goodbye.
He survives his moment of truth with Simon.
Yeah, I think you have a good recording voice.
But looking back, Corey Clark says the reaction of another judge would prove much more important.
I think you got star quality. I say yes. You're going to Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood. Thank you. The magic words every Idol hopeful lives for.
Oh, that was awesome. All three of them were like, you're going to Hollywood. And I was like, all right, that'll work.
But Corey travels with some personal baggage that would eventually undo him. Just weeks earlier, he's arrested for assault and obstructing police who were called to break up an argument between Corey and his younger sister. He eventually pleads no contest to obstruction, a misdemeanor. All other charges are dropped. You didn't mention that in the application to American Idol?
No, No. And I didn't mention it because the police wrongfully arrested me.
The arrest and an earlier lawsuit for passing bad checks come to light during the climactic final weeks of the American Idol season. Corey is kicked off the show for failing to disclose the arrest on his Idol application.
So we've had to release him from the competition.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. All of this is still a secret when our story begins. Corey Clark and more than 200 other lucky contestants are flown to Hollywood, moved to a Hilton, and are put through their paces here at the Alex Theater.
And at that point, you were trying to make that dream come true.
Yeah, they were saying if you get in the top 10, you'll be a household name. So that was good enough for me.
Figure out which way you're going to go. Long ago.
It's the second round of the competition, and by coincidence, the ABC News magazine 2020 is there shooting a behind-the-scenes profile of American Idol.
Long ago.
Off the set, Idol producers are also at work, looking for stories, and Corey gives them one, drinking and partying all night before his next audition.
There used to be a great tower.
When he takes the Alex Theater stage on No Sleep, Corey forgets the words to his part of the song. But as luck would have it, his ad-lib works out better than the original lyrics.
Paula, I compare you to a kid's from the rose on the bed. Ooh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels. Yeah, now that your rose is in bloom, the light hits the groove on the way. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Paula Abdul looks delighted by the impromptu serenade.
Corey, that was beautiful. Thank you. Very sweet.
But that was very bold of you to go up to her.
Yeah.
Were you making a pass at her?
Hell no, I was performing. No, that's what you do.
But you know what? What the hell? Who cares? I got you to come up to me. Come on.
And Corey says something happens off camera during this interview with ABC News. A woman presses something into his hand.
She told me there was a phone number in my hand that I was supposed to call and talk to somebody that was going to help me out. And that if I told anybody that who it was, you know, that I was going to be in trouble, I was going to be off the show.
And what was in her hand?
It was a phone number. It was a piece of paper. And she told me it was Paula Abdul's phone number.
So what goes through your mind when she gives you this and says it's Paula Abdul?
A million things. I thought it was fake. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do, you know? Party on that.
The good news is that the judges vote Corey Clark into the next round. Now just 32 contestants. The bad news, he says, is that he feels caught in a personal dilemma.
It was a cold night in December and his palms sweated at the thought of even dialing her number straight up.
And so now she's expecting my call. I have this number, which I think is fake. And if I call, I'm like, it's probably gonna be like the American Idol hotline, and they're gonna be like, hi, yeah, you're off for real now, sucker.
Straight up. I'm sure he never thought this thing would ever happen when ring, when a phone. He hopes nobody answers, he hopes that somebody's home.
Hello?
She picked up, what should he do? He had to speak up, y'all. This is Corey Clark, he said. I know it's after dark, my bad, but I got this number in my hand.
When we come back, how he says a single secret phone call led to breaking the rules.
She coached you.
Right.
She picked your songs.
Yeah.
She picked your clothes.
Right.
But what else does he say it led to? When Prime Time, Fallen Idol returns. Fallen Idol continues. Once again, John Quinones.
Your possibilities have suddenly gone to the top. And if you breathe a word just as fast, you will be dropped.
Breathe a word of it and you'll be dropped. Corey Clark says the lyrics tell the story of his real-life dilemma. Paula Abdul is a judge on American Idol. He's a contestant with her personal phone numbers, he says, and a chance to make a risky connection.
So you're a little nervous.
I was very nervous, like, well, man.
So I gather my thoughts, what should I do?
Here's what he says happens next. For several hours up in his hotel room, he does nothing. But at around midnight, temptation overcomes Corey Clark. He's too afraid to call from the room provided by American Idol, so he finds an untraceable payphone down in the lobby, and he calls the number given to him on this scrap of paper. And he says Paula Abdul answers.
I was shocked at first to even say anything, and she was like, hello? Who's this? This is Corey Clark. And she, oh, hi, how you doing? Oh my God, I'm glad you called.
He says he can't believe what he hears next. Paula Abdul offering to give him private help.
So she was like, you gotta have better song choices, and I wanna help you through that. I wanna look out after you like I'm your mom. And then she was like, well, no more like your sister. I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, well, maybe more like your special friend.
A special friend who Corey says wants to meet him right away. And he says he just couldn't refuse this celebrity judge.
But to get to her, you got to go on the spy mission almost, huh?
Oh, that's what it felt. I felt kind of like 007. That's what it felt like. It was like a spy mission. Yeah, it was in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? It was like 12 in the morning.
He says a car and a driver pick him up at the hotel for the first of many clandestine drives into the hills high above Los Angeles.
She was saying like taxi cabs for me, or she would come and pick me up herself, or my friends would come to get me and drop me off, or sometimes I'd drive myself.
And how many times did you come up here?
I can't even count. It was multiple times. That's our house right there.
That's the house?
Remember, Corey says it's only been a few hours since he was serenading Paula Abdul on the show. Now he says he's inside her home. He may be just one of more than 200 contestants brought to Hollywood, but Corey Clark says he's the only one having a private late-night meeting with one of the star judges of American Idol.
We had a couple drinks, and she's talking to me, and she's letting me know all the ins and outs of the show, what to do and what not to do, who to talk to, who not to talk to, you know.
Did she offer to help you on American Idol?
Oh, of course. Of course. Not as far as making it through, but, you know, as far as helping me in, you know, like wardrobe, so I looked the part, you know, and song choices, you know what I'm saying?
According to Corey, on his first visit, they talked through the night.
I leave from there at 5, come back to the hotel, and everybody stood there, you know, hanging out. And we go on to compete at the Alex Theater.
Corey Clark is one of 32 contestants who advanced to the next round in January and February 2003. We bring 7 other contestants from the same round back to the Alex Theater. They all say they had virtually no contact with the celebrity judges.
The judges showed up right before filming, maybe 20 minutes before the performance, and then they'd leave right after.
Never saw him again?
No, just during shooting, that's it.
You spent very little time with him?
They were rarely seen around the studio.
The final 32 contestants are kept in one hotel with watchful producers and American Idol security guards. This group says any contact with judges outside the competition is unthinkable.
Could you get their phone numbers?
Oh, of course not. That's unheard of. Of course you can do that.
They don't want to build personal relationships with the contestants when they're judging them. It's just about the performance and not about anything else.
Little do they know that one among them now says he had a secret pipeline to a judge.
She needed a way to get in contact with me, so she gave me one of her old phones from Sprint.
An employee at this Sprint store in West Los Angeles tells us that Paula Abdul and Corey come into the store together to activate a phone.
How did she explain that when she gave it to you?
She was like, this is so you can talk to me and nobody will know what's up, you know? And don't give nobody this number because this is me and your phone. That's it.
Corey's friends, Kevin Gibson and Trey Jacobs, think it's strange that their pal, who until recently couldn't afford a cell phone, suddenly has 2. One from American Idol, issued to all contestants, and now another one.
I was asking him, like, yo, what do you need 2 phones for? He just let me know that one was for Paula.
Every time I was around Corey, he would get at least 3 phone calls from Paula.
We heard Paula and we heard her talking, and it was her. So it was wild.
She's calling, we're having conversations for like 2 and 3 hours.
He gives us phone records of calls he says he made from his parents' home in Nashville and his grandfather's place in Rialto, California, where he sometimes stayed during the competition. They show dozens of calls to Paula Abdul's phones. On January 1st, 2003, one call lasts 111 minutes. 2 days later, a 155-minute call and a 90-minute call.
She would drive out to come get me. It was like an hour trip, you know.
From where to where?
From Rialto to LA every day. It's an hour and 2 hours with traffic.
He says that to prepare for his performances on American Idol, Paula Abdul gives him cash to buy trendy clothes, picks out and pays for dozens of music CDs, even helps soothe his throat with this bottle of prescription cough syrup made out in her name.
She coached you.
Right.
She picked your songs.
Yeah.
She picked your clothes.
Right. Got my hair cut for me.
And the idea of all of this was
polishing off that dust off of the dirty diamond and helping me shine a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, check him out now.
For about a month, Corey says their relationship is limited to friendship and advice. But he says it doesn't stay that way for long.
It felt like, hey, she let me know, like it feels like she's hitting on me a little bit, and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, Paula Abdul's hitting on me, dude.
Do you hear me talking to you, baby? I'm tired of playing games with you for free.
Up next, from this kiss in front of the cameras to what he says was their first private kiss away from them.
She leaned over and she kissed me when we were in her car.
When Prime Time, Fallen Idol returns. Prime Time continues with Fallen Idol.
Corey Clark's serenade of Paula Abdul is a classic moment in American Idol history.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
He says later, on the night of December 12, 2002, she becomes his secret advisor. And he alleges, as the weeks go by, the long phone calls and late-night rendezvous become increasingly romantic.
When she was dropping me off again one night, she leaned over and she kissed me when we were in her car. And it was dope. I was like, wow.
Then Corey says one night, a few weeks after that first visit to her house, they're watching an episode of American Idol when
she came up behind me and she just started kissing my neck. And that's the first night that we had ever been together, you know what I'm saying?
Corey says the affair spans the first 3 months of 2003.
It turned into a relationship. It's like, hey, I'm chilling with you, but we still can't tell nobody now.
Could it possibly be true? Romance between a celebrity judge on American Idol and a 22-year-old contestant. A naive and perpetually broke young man of no fixed address who didn't own a car or even a cell phone. And yet he says he chills with a wealthy superstar in her Hollywood Hills mansion.
Laker girl.
Paula Abdul's career begins 20 years ago as a cheerleader for the Los Angeles Lakers. She choreographs concerts for the Jackson family and teaches dance moves to Janet Jackson. In 1989, she becomes a major star in her own right with a #1 hit followed by a triple platinum album. Married and divorced twice, her music career fades in the late 1990s. But the success of American Idol puts Paula Abdul right back in the spotlight. But Corey, you at that time were you're barely a contestant on the show. This is Paula Abdul, one of the most recognizable faces on television.
Yeah.
Why would she risk everything to be with you?
She wanted to help me. She wanted to help me avoid the pitfalls of American Idol.
Why should we believe you?
You can or you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not here to try to prove my case one way or the other. I'm just here to let people know what was really going down on my side of the fence.
Corey describes what he says are specific details of the interior of Paula Abdul's home. You slept with Paula Abdul?
Yeah.
What room? Where?
In the guest room. That's where I always usually stayed at.
Why the guest room?
I don't know, like it seemed like kind of like, you know, that's where she stayed a lot too, because, you know, she had her room, you know, like that was the room that had like the little dog ramp in it for her dogs and stuff. And,
a dog ramp?
Yeah, because she's got like 3 little dogs. It's Thumbelina, Tulip, and Tinkerbell.
You said you watch TV, right?
We watch like music videos and stuff, you know, like when you lay in the jacuzzi tub, like she's got a TV, you know, that you can watch. So we watch videos in there and hang out. Just passing the time away, you know?
Soon, Corey's friends tell us, he begins bragging of his exploits with Paula Abdul. And they say one night at this Hollywood club, he delivers. They meet her.
It was crazy because, you know, my friend Corey, you know, was, you know, hooking up, messing with, you know, sexually active with Paula Abdul. And that was like a little wild for me because that's all I was thinking, like, wow.
Paula and Corey try to keep things low-key that night, say his friends, but they say they see enough to now believe their friend.
You would catch them every once in a while. You know, eye contact, you know, hand touching, just, you know, unnecessary giggling.
I noticed, you know, Paula and, you know, touching Corey on it, you know, touching his hands and touching his thigh, you know, and it seemed really, you know, almost like secretive.
Corey's parents say he told them his secret almost immediately.
He let us know that he and Paula were intimate.
Your reaction?
I wasn't happy about it. She was 38 at the time, and here's our son who's 22, and I just kind of,
What bothered me was the fact that he was in a competition.
So what did you tell him?
I told him to get back to his music.
You said cut it out.
Yeah, chance of a lifetime. Why take a chance on blowing it?
In February, American Idol brings parents, including Dwayne and Jan Clark, onto the show to get their reaction during the competition. They meet Paula. But they say they already knew Paula from the phone calls. Their bills show numerous calls to Paula Abdul's phones. And both Dwayne and Jan say they also remember many incoming calls. Sometimes Jan says she spoke to Paula herself.
constant phone calls, back-to-back phone calls. Have we seen Corey?
My dad's house in California, our house,
his
Corey's
phone,
her cell.
Jan Clark says she was stunned by one call in which she says Paula made a special request.
There were rumors going around that there might be a possibility of an affair, and she had just mentioned to me on the phone that if any tabloids would call or anybody would call, please not to mention anything about it. And I said, of course, not a problem.
Did she say it was serious, that she'd fallen in love with Corey?
She didn't use those words with me, that she really cared about Corey a great deal.
By mid-February, Corey is one of 32 contestants now getting their first real publicity on the American Idol website as they vie for the 12 spots in the finals.
It's down to 32 contestants. How do you prepare for that?
Man, song choice, picking out my songs with, sitting down with Paula, picking that out with her.
Paula suggested it? Paula picked it?
Like, she was opening my eyes to, look, you sing this stuff, this is how you're going to get through.
Corey says they go together to buy CDs. Paula pays. He says they settle on Foolish Heart by Steve Perry from the 80s band Journey with, wait a minute, that's Idol judge Randy Jackson in those ultra skin-tight pants.
Why did she pick this particular song?
She had pointed out to me afterwards that, Randy Jackson was a part of Journey and that he'll probably like that song.
And to help him look good on stage, Corey says she drives him to this very hip clothing store.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's the receipt from Fred Siegel in Santa Monica.
How did you pay for that?
With cash.
Whose cash?
With Paula's cash. I didn't have $400. No, I didn't have enough money to eat at that time.
And to relax before his biggest audition yet, Corey says he spends nights at Paula's house. And when his time comes, Corey is right on his game.
The clothes you're wearing there, that's the clothes she paid for.
Yep. And the haircut, too. My hair was too heavy, you know what I'm saying?
Foolish Heart hits a chord with Randy Jackson, just as Corey says Paula predicted.
Great song.
Great song. You know why great song?
Steve Perry, I worked with. Great song. I mean, you know.
I didn't know that.
And on the air you say, I didn't know that? Or
I said on the air, I didn't know that.
And you were lying to Randy, because you did know.
Right.
You just blew me away. Blew me away. What a beautiful voice, and different and unique.
The viewers vote to give Corey one of those coveted spots in the final 12, while the 20 losers return to obscurity with a memento from one of the judges.
This is from Paula. She presented this to all the 32 finalists, season 2. And it says, when you wish upon a star, you flip it over. It says you just might become one, and then it has your initial on the inside.
But they're about to find out that one of their competitors says their chance at stardom was handicapped because he was getting inside advice.
What happens when an all-new her is a turnoff for him? Watch Primetime Live Thursday.
As we continue with Fallen Idol, is a secret being played out on national TV under the very noses and eyes and ears of millions of viewers? Even for Corey Clark's 11 fellow finalists, now living together in the same mansion, in the rehearsal studio together day and night. Was anything of what he claims visible on the surface? March 2003. The American Idol machine gears up to hype the remaining 12 contestants through the final round of competition. Ruben, Clay, even Corey are on a first-name basis with millions of adoring fans. If Corey's claims are true, his actions, approaching Paula on stage and singing I Owe It All to You, take on a new significance. What was the message from you to her then?
I'm showing her that, I love her and I care about her, and this is, I owe it all to you. Like, I'm giving you a message,
And you were telling Paula, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for watching my back.
Behind those finalists are 20 singers eliminated in the previous round, denied the celebrity status and exposure of the finals. We meet 7 of them at the Alex Theater.
You thought you were about to become a huge star, and then everything ends just right there at the moment they tell you.
Suddenly.
Yeah.
Rapidly.
And it's horrible. You just get so depressed afterwards.
Some people would walk out of these doors and they're like, my life is over. Some people were like suicidal.
Suicidal?
Yeah, like my life is over.
None of these singers is aware until we tell them that one of the contestants who beat them now alleges he was coached by a judge.
Someone telling you, look, you need to look like this because this outfit is gonna work. This song is gonna work is huge. It's huge. Yeah. The right song could be everything. The wrong shoes could be the wrong thing. You know what I mean?
Telling them how to wear the hair, what clothes to pick out, what songs would work better, would that give them an edge over you guys?
It would, and there's really no point for the competition. They just need to go on the streets and find the star that they want, if that's the case. If there are those type of things going on behind the scenes, there's no point of American Idol.
This is one of the contestants that beat you guys and made it to the final 12.
Are you going to tell us which contestant?
Or do you want us to guess?
Bring them out. Where's the door?
No, don't guess.
The ranger.
I want to know who it is.
I do too.
We'll tell them in a moment who's making these claims. But first, the most sensational allegation. That there was a sexual affair going on.
I can't see, whichever judge was having a relationship like that with any of the contestants. I don't see them putting themselves in that situation. I really don't.
Oh, I can.
I can see it. Wouldn't shock me.
It was very secretive.
if you're having sexual relations with the judge, you're a lot more confident that they're going to be on your side. You know, they're not going to tell you suck because you're going home to bed with them.
Oh, God.
It's worth noting that the viewers, not the judges, actually picked the winner of American Idol, including 10 of the 12 finalists. That's how Corey made it. But it's also true that with their reactions, the judges can carry a lot of weight with the voting audience.
This was honestly one of the worst things I've ever seen in the music industry today.
And if a judge is heaping praise on camera,
What a beautiful voice, refreshing.
while helping a contestant behind the scenes,
I had friends and family voting the whole 2 hours, and I'm sure everybody else did. And if that's going on, then it was in vain.
For those who put so much work and effort into it, and someone is kind of getting the easy ride in, it's absolutely wrong.
Are you going to tell us who it is?
Yeah.
we play the clip of Corey Clark the night he wins his spot in the finals. With a song, a look, a wardrobe, a hairstyle, all, he says, at least in part, coached or provided by Paula Abdul. And he says he spent nights leading up to the big event, relaxing in her home and sleeping in her bed. They watch, their silent faces saying everything about disappointment and disillusion.
I'm telling you, you just blew me away.
Oh, wow.
I'm very surprised. He didn't deserve to win because it's not fair to everybody else that did it on their own.
What do you think?
Not surprised.
You're not surprised?
No. No. Not surprised at all.
Nashika Seidel says she first heard whispers shortly after she was eliminated. She went home to New York and buried her anger in her music, saying nothing for 2 years until now.
I was shocked and I was pissed off then, you know, because I'm just wondering what else could have possibly happened to make me be at the point where I was, as opposed to getting the chance that I deserved to get.
How does it make you feel about the show?
I don't know yet.
It makes you upset because you see those 12 spots, and we all were fighting for one of those 12 spots. You know, my life will go on, my career will go on, I'll continue to go for it, but, you know, that's a slap in the face.
You had sex with Paula Abdul.
Yeah, I did.
She was a judge on the show.
Yeah, she was.
Did you see anything wrong with that?
Of course. That's why we were keeping it secret.
How should the other contestants feel about that?
I mean, I don't know, you know? I don't know what, I wouldn't know what to say. You know, I don't know what to tell them, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't ask for none of that, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I went up to her and I asked her, yo, come help me out, you know? They came to me.
Now 24, Corey Clark says what he did was wrong, but he insists the advances of an attractive celebrity 18 years his senior would overwhelm any young man.
Straight up, it's not exactly for me what I wanted, but to try and argue with the star when she's giving me money and let me drive her car.
If you was in my situation, what would you have done? That's a better question, Mr. Quinones. Let's put you in the hot seat. What would you have done if Paula Abdul said, John Quinones, you're 22 years old. I think you're a really sexy guy and I'd like to help you out in this competition. What are you gonna do? You'd be like...
And what does Corey Clark do now when Paula Abdul, who hasn't spoken to him in 2 years, is suddenly, he says, back on the phone?
Hi, it's Paula. Call me back.
Up next, a message on Corey Clark's voicemail.
I know it's regarding him, but something's going on. Okay? Call me back.
Is it Paula? And what does she want? When Primetime, Fallen Idol returns. And now, the conclusion of Fallen Idol. Once again, John Quinones.
Corey sings great in the finals, but he's suddenly dumped when the show finds out he lied on his application by saying he had never been arrested.
I am guilty of not telling the producers of the show
His ungraceful exit is also, he says, the end of a 3-month-long relationship with Paula Abdul. Except for a few brief phone calls, he says, they've had no contact since.
Wanna see how much more I can take, be like, oh my.
Now, 2 years later, he's got a record deal and he's recording his first album. Finally, another chance to make it big.
Be like, oh my Lord, so pretty the face, so make it bounce, clap, jump, rhythm and shake.
So why go back now? Why raise allegations about coaching and a sexual affair now?
I need to set the record straight for myself. And, you know, unfortunately, I need to set the record straight for her, too, because she was a part of it.
Is this a publicity stunt for you?
No, this is me telling the truth. And it just so happens to be a very explosive truth.
Still, with his first record soon to be released, the connection seems obvious. And then 4 weeks ago, on April 8th, news leaks that he sent a tell-all book proposal to publishers. That day, Corey says, he awakes to a message alert on his phone.
To replay this message, press 1.
Hi, it's Paula. Call me back. Listen, if the press is trying to talk to you, you say absolutely nothing. That's all you do.
He says it's Paula Abdul apparently reacting to the news leak.
People are crazy. I don't know I don't know what's regarding them, but something's going on. Okay? I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I got several calls from her that morning and from her assistant. They're trying to calm me down like I'm tripping, and I'm like, I'm not tripping. They're like, just Corey, just take it easy and take a deep breath, and you don't want to talk. And I'm like, I'm not the one hyperventilating here. You guys might want to help your girl out because she sounds a little upset. You know what I'm saying?
He says she tries several different tactics to silence him, pleading with him to not publish his memoirs, threatening to sue, and promising to help his singing career.
I'll hook you up with, you know, D'Angelo's people because they think you're talented, and I can't promise you anything's going to come out of it, you know, but you just got to promise me you're not going to talk to nobody.
Later that day, Paula Abdul is on the air as a substitute host for Entertainment Tonight. Corey Clark, meanwhile, is at this studio in Universal City where he spends the evening practicing some dance moves. At 11:03 p.m., as he's leaving through the back door, his cell phone rings. He says it's Paula Abdul.
She was like, well, you know, you're a talented kid and this and that. You know, I don't want you to get yourself in trouble. You need to focus on the positive. And I was like, how would I get myself in trouble? You know what I'm saying? She's like, by talking about me, talking about us.
Corey says for more than an hour, until after midnight, she repeatedly pleads with him not to publish his memoirs and to say nothing about her.
So I was like, I promise you, I will not spread any lies or any rumors about you. And I kind of left it at that, and then she was like, no, I don't want you to talk about me at all. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm saying I'm just, like, cleaning up my own pathway, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if that involves getting your dirt off my pathway, then I got to do that.
We sent Paula Abdul a list of detailed questions about Corey Clark's allegations. In an email, she refused to respond to specifics, instead saying that Corey is a liar who is making false statements about her to promote a book. The producers of American Idol and the Fox network also questioned Corey Clark's motives. In a statement issued last night, they say they were never contacted by Corey Clark, but that they will look into any evidence of improper conduct that they receive.
You said you'd always be there for me, but now you're nowhere to be seen.
Jan Clark doesn't know her son has written a song he's titled Politics until we show her the lyrics.
Whoa.
When you read that, what do you feel?
Anger and hurt.
I'm about to tell you how I'm feeling, man. This is the story of your boy and older woman, and the way she played with his mind, the lies she told to his face.
Played with his mind, the lies she told his face, and the tragic way she broke his heart. He really loved her. He really loved her. How dare she do that to a young man?
If you could talk to Paula Abdul, what would you say to her?
I don't want to talk to Paula. What would I say to her?
Stick to the script.
Grow up.
Your personality seemed at first to could be so sweet. But then I saw the you that they'll never show on TV.
The song says, "You broke my heart."
The way she played with his mind, the lie she told to his face, and the tragic way she broke his heart. That's right. Yeah.
And she did?
Yeah, that, you know, you build up somebody like that and tell them, you know, hey, you know, I care about you, you do it, and then they pull out. It's like, that's not right.
I'm not finished. Did you think you'd win this? A secret's not a secret. We're no longer conceived. Straight up.
That's our special for tonight. But tomorrow we'll be back with our regular primetime, including reaction to our story tonight, the fallout from Fallen Idol. So until then, I'm John Quinones, and from all of us at Primetime, good night.